This is ABC 15 News at 6.
Fully automatic fire from an elevated position. Take cover.
We need to stop the shooter before we have more victims.
Get down. Get down.
My brother did this. It makes no sense.
It was an act of pure evil.
Okay, guys, this is a live look at the Las Vegas Strip where 58 people are dead tonight. More than 500 others are hurt after the deadliest mass shooting on American soil. Now, we are told Las Vegas leaders will be holding a news conference shortly. If that happens, we'll have it for you live. Police say a man from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino used a hammer to make a hole in the window, and he shot at 22,000 people below who were attending an outdoor country music concert. And you can hear panic on the police radio as officers call for backup.
He's coming from upstairs in the Mandalay Bay. Upstairs in Mandalay Bay, halfway up. I see the shots coming from Mandalay Bay. Halfway up. We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
All right, so here's what we know tonight. Police say the killer is Stephen Craig Paddock. He's from Mesquite, Nevada. They say he did kill himself. Detectives searched his house today where they found an arsenal in his room. Investigators say he had a combination of about 20 rifles and handguns locked and loaded. They spoke with his brother, Eric Paddock, who says he didn't notice any signs of distress or mental illness. ISIS claims Paddock was a soldier who converted to Islam months ago, but his brother says that's not true.
Steve had nothing to do with any political organization, religious organization, no white supremacists, nothing, as far as I know.
And FBI agents say they haven't found any connection to a terror organization.
This was a horrific event, to say the least. This is a classic WMD. This is a weapon and a man of mass destruction.
President Donald Trump has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff until sunset on Friday to honor the victims. And the president and First Lady Melania Trump held a moment of silence for the Las Vegas shooting victims on the White House South Lawn today. There they are, dozens of White House staffers gathered to bow their heads. President Trump thanked the first responders for all they've gone through. He says their speed prevented more lives from being lost. And right now we want to take you live to Las Vegas where there's a news conference. Let's listen in.
The house in Mesquite, and then now we have SWAT standing by getting ready to hit the house in northern Nevada. At this point, we did, in the last briefing, I was unable to tell you what we retrieved from the house in Mesquite. We retrieved in the excess, Aaron, how many firearms was it? 18. In excess of 18 additional firearms, some explosives, and several thousand rounds of ammo, along with some electronic devices that we are evaluating at this point. I mentioned that SWAT is about to breach the house up in northern Nevada, and then I'm going to give you an update on the casualty numbers. We are currently standing at 527 for individuals injured, and individuals that have died or passed away, 59. So what we're doing at this point, we have several people calling about personal items located at the stadium. We are not done processing that scene yet, and once we are done processing the scene, we will make arrangements for people that attended the stadium that believe they have personal items there to respond to the area, and we will help you retrieve your items. At this point, I want to bring Greg Castle forward from the County Fire Department, and he will give you an update on the Family Resource Center. Prior to that, I think it's important for, and I appreciate for you to put this out, for the people's families that are responding to the Las Vegas area. Some local proprietaries have offered up rooms for the family members at no charge, and that is the Boyd Group, Stations Casinos, the South Point with Mr. Gone, and also Siegel Suites. So one more time, the Boyd Group, Stations Casinos, the South Point with Mr. Gone, and the Siegel Suites. So individuals responding to the Las Vegas area in need of accommodations, those individual properties will accommodate you. So, Greg.
Thank you, Sheriff. My name is Greg Castle, Fire Chief of the Clark County Fire Department. And as the Sheriff said, there's a couple things I want to mention. The first off is the Family Assistance Center. The Family Assistance Center is set up right now. It's a combination of police department, fire department, the coroner's office, and other local entities working together to provide the services for the families and for that are coming into town or that are still here trying to handle what has happened with their loved ones. They're providing all kinds of services. As the Sheriff said, many places have stepped up to provide flights, housing, food, transportation, and many other things. So that's a wonderful thing for our community to have come forward and have done. This facility is located in the South Hall of the Convention Center, S2, and it's pretty much taken up the entire South Hall. There's also a donation drop-off area that's been...
All right, guys, and we're going to have much more on this on World News Tonight coming up a little later. Right now, though, country music star Jason Aldean, he was performing when the deadliest shooting in U.S. history began. Aldean was one of the headliners for Carolina Country Music Fest here in June in Myrtle Beach. ABC 15's Sydney Glenn spoke with police today about how this tragedy will impact future events like CCMF. Sydney?
Captain Joey Crosby tells me ultimately this is something they will learn from. Today, event organizers for CCMF spoke with police to discuss security plans for next year's festival. Horror and tragedy in Las Vegas brings that question of what if right here at home.
Quite honestly, it's something that is etched in your mind, is etched in your memory as you see each of these events occur. So you always think about what could happen here.
Each June, tens of thousands of people come to Myrtle Beach for the Carolina Country Music Fest. Myrtle Beach Police Captain Joey Crosby says safety plans are constantly evolving.
It's not just mass shootings that we have to worry about. You look at things such as backpacks and bags and also vehicles driving through the middle of crowds, things that we never had to worry about in the past.
Of course, you never plan for tragedy, but you can be prepared based on what you know and learning from other events.
You look at Las Vegas and everything else. You have to look at fire being involved in this, medical being involved in this. How do you respond? What triage do you set up? How do you set up triage? How do you get those that are in need to medical attention? Who is going to take those individuals? What hospitals do you take them to?
Captain Crosby tells me he can't give me specifics about the safety plan for CCMF, but ensures me there are complex changes behind the scenes each year.
That's why you've seen us make changes. That's why you've seen the addition of things such as the SWAT team outside the main entrances to let folks know that we have a heavy presence of law enforcement.
CCMF organizer Bob Durkin released this statement. It reads in part, CCMF will continue to closely work with the Myrtle Beach Police Department to prepare for 2018. We pledge our continued commitment to exhaust all resources to ensure CCMF provides a safe, secure environment for all. We have that full statement for you on WPDE.com. Trey.
All right, thank you so much, Sydney. And you know what? This might give you chills. Jason Aldean's guitarist called his wife when the shooting started. He told her he didn't know what was going on, but that he loved her and asked her to pray.
As he was about to hang up, I just heard more rounds going off in the background, and they almost sounded like they were getting a little bit louder. And so that's the last I heard his voice.
She says about half an hour later, she got a text saying he found a safe spot. She says while that was a relief, it's a phone call you never want to get in the middle of the night. Well, if there's any good news, right now people are still waiting in line to donate blood for the Vegas victims. You know, people stood in lines outside of blood donation centers all day today. And this is a look at social media posts courtesy of our exclusive Banjo app. Nicolette wrote on Instagram about a 5-hour wait at one center. Another post shows the long lines. You can see that there. Amanda writes she saw strangers hugging and crying together. And Chris tweeted this photo of a truck of water and snacks. Volunteers showed up to deliver them to people waiting in line. Well, the Orlando mayor says the mass shooting is a reminder of what happened in his city, and he's concerned the Las Vegas massacre will bring back bad memories to survivors of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida.
There's no doubt that the Las Vegas tragedy will provoke emotional anguish in those that are here in our community that were impacted by Pulse. This may recreate the feelings that many had on June the 12th of last year.
And right now, 59 people are dead in Las Vegas. The mayor wants anyone who knows a Pulse survivor to check in on them. He says mental health providers are standing by, ready to help. Well, tonight, ABC 15 News at 7 will air at a special time. We'll start our newscast a half hour later at 7:30. ABC World News will be extended to a full hour of coverage next. And we're learning more about the victims of the Las Vegas massacre. Tonight at 7:30, we'll share some of their stories. Well, we have new information tonight about a murder in Murrells Inlet. The coroner says Jessica Hill died from strangulation and head trauma. Witnesses told police they saw a man get in a boat and ride away after a fire started at Perry's Bait and Tackle Friday morning. And detectives charged Eric Justin Perry right there with murder and arson after they found Hill's body in the boat. And tonight, the community is honoring Hill's life the way she would have wanted it, out on the open water. ABC 15's Taggart Houck joins us live outside along the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk to show you how friends are coming together to remember her.
Yeah, well, a lot of people here at Murrells Inlet telling us that Jessica, she had an infectious smile. It could light up the room, and of course they were shocked to hear what had happened. But I want to take you through. You're probably wondering what's going on behind me right now. These boats out here, a lot of friends and a lot of family here around Murrells Inlet, they are kind of going around the water here. This is an event that they had planned. It started about 5:30. They really just kind of came out and they're going around the water. They are throwing flowers into the water and casting one last line to honor Jessica.
People came in that store specifically just to see Jessica.
Outside Perry's Bait and Tackle, a memorial with messages of love growing by the day.
She just almost became like a counselor to the town.
Jason Burton grew up with Jessica.
She could talk to the wall, and I mean, the wall would smile back.
He and Erica Williams, also Jessica's friend, decided to shed a positive light on who she was.
She was very easy to talk to, and her smile just kind of warmed up and lit up the entire room.
Anything that would hit a flailing around her.
Her smile seen in this clip. She was a frequent guest on a fishing show here on ABC 15.
Being able to simulate a live bait without having it actually be live.
Williams still can't believe she's gone.
It was just really hard, I think, to handle.
She and Jason wanted to shed a positive light. They created a Facebook event. Tonight, they'll boat around the inlet in her honor.
We're just hoping it's positive. We want people to tell their funny Jessica stories and tell those funny, events that happened. And then we're all going to grab a fishing rod and we're going to make one cast together as a group in memory of her.
And they know she'll be looking down.
If I know Jessica, when we go to make that last cast, half the people are probably going to tangle up and funny stuff's going to happen, and she will be laughing hysterically watching us all try not to get tangled up.
Yeah, they're about to go ahead. They're about to go ahead and do that. As they're heading out, they're getting ready, of course, to group up, throwing those flowers into the water. You can still see them kind of whizzing past, floating along here. They're going to throw, like I said, the flowers into the water, eventually casting those lines. But I do want to tell you the background to this started really with a Facebook group about this. It was created by two people here who are great friends of hers. They said it really took off, and it really just shows the kind of impact that she has in this community. Live now in Murrells Inlet, Taggart Houck, ABC 15 News.
Wow, what a special group and a special way to honor her. Thank you so much, Taggart, and we'll be right back after the break.